Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Thank you so much for being here. Seems like the volume is kind of low, isn't it? Let me see what I can do about that. Hmm. Oh, what's this? Visual effects. What? Hmm. I don't know what that does. Oh, well, don't mean anything to me right now, so I'll skip it. Check one, two, three. Yeah, I guess the volume's okay. If it's not, let me know and I can turn it up. Okay. All right. Let's see who was here first. Teddy Bongo, thank you so much for being here first. Slides are on the way. Angela M. Let's see. Shelly L. Hello, Shelly L. Let me see. Mary H. Ania. Okay, Bunny Rose. And Gwendolyn Daniels. Emma D. And Sheila Dewey. What if Emma D is actually Emma Greedy? Huh? What if there's a real entrepreneur, humanitarian listening right now? Not to say that if you're not Emma Greedy, that you're not all those things, but it would be cool if you were. All right. There we go. So who's to blame? Boy, I tell you, the Windsors, the left behind royals, are sinking like a stone. Hey, Karen Williams. Yeah, the left behind royals are sinking like a stone, and there doesn't seem to be anyone who could help them. And so far, they haven't figured out just blame everything on Queen Elizabeth, but they'll come around to it. But yeah, it's going to oh no, it's going to make sense eventually. Uh-oh. Why did this kid open up that pizza box the wrong way? Oh, okay, it didn't mess up. All right, let me stop looking at Twitter. Okay, I got to stop looking at Twitter. Oh my goodness. Okay. Don't forget, it is Black History Month in the United States. It's a chance to celebrate Black heritage, Black history, um, perhaps frequent some of those stores that are owned by African Americans if you're here in the United States or anywhere. Um, it'd be a great time to step outside of your usual shopping habits and go to a store that have owners and proprietors of African descent. That would be really cool. Hey, Vanessa Jones. Okay. Well, the clouds are gathering over Buckingham Palace. I chose the right photo for this, didn't I? I should have gotten one that was a little more murkier. You know what I mean? Something that looked more forbidden, foreboding. Something that just kind of gives you a chill when you look at it. Yeah, I could have done much better than that. Let me see if I have something that will fit the bill. Something that make Buckingham Palace looks like more like a nightmare instead of just a palace. Mm, cloudier. That's what it needs. It needs darker clouds. Nope, I don't have one. Man, I thought I did. Oh no, you know what? I think that's a picture of a different house. Probably the White House. Oh, there we go. That's what I'm looking for. There you go. A little darker, a little spookier. Hey, Kim Peaches, thank you for joining us. So, I got a great delivery, you guys. I I'm embarrassed because I still don't remember. Okay, I know someone said they were on the way. They said they were sending me cookies, and I'm so embarrassed. I don't remember who sent them. So please don't be cross with me, but does anybody remember? Please tell me. Does anybody remember? Because I totally forgot. I do so much talking from one day to the next. It just slipped me mind. But whoever sent the cookies, thank you so much. This is the card that was inside the box. It says, "For you, cookies for you," right? I want to share this unboxing with you. And it was six kinds of cookies in there, three soft packs and three of the traditional boxes. Oh, okay, that tracks. Thank you so much. Ah, it is so beautiful and so thoughtful. I do apologize. I could not remember to save me life. So, thank you. And again, I am so sorry for forgetting. But I have already been working on the Thin Mints, just so you know. I absolutely love the Thin Mints. And then I'll work my way out from there. But yeah, I'm happy. I'm a happy camper. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And let me give you some flowers. Uh and the thing is, I I kind of thought that it would slip my mind. So at the time, I am reasonably certain that I took a screenshot so that I could save it. So when they came, I would know. And well, for whatever reason, I don't know what I did with the screenshot. But I'm sure it was around the time when we were talking about Girl Scout cookies. So anyway, very grateful for that. Thank you so much. And I have more. I have more. Okay. Um, Let me do this. Okay. Ah, there's the spread right there. Look at that nice box. Now, the big square lid right there, you can see it on the right at the top. That's the lid that was on top of the box. And then there's the box itself. And they were sitting up, the long way inside the box. So you could see the box, the card, and of course the lid to the box. Um, but yeah, isn't that great? And then, of course, there's the Girl Scout symbol on the side of the box. I know, I know. How blessed am I? And then that's the lid of the box right there. Isn't that beautiful? You know, I'm going to use that again and again. Anytime I find any kind of artwork like that, I'm going to use it again and again. So that one will probably be used as a background whenever the Girl Scout movie premiere. I will use that several times in the future. But thank you, Heather Stroud. It is a fantastic, lovely, beautiful gift. So, again, there's the card for you. And there's the selection. It is shortbread, thin mints, Rocky Road, lemon, and let's see, what is that one? Oh, you know what? Let me zoom in because Lord knows I'm not getting out this chair. It's called Ad, in Adventure, Adventureful. I think that's what it's called. And the Carmen Delights. The Carmen Delights. So there's a shortbread, a thin mint. There's s'more. I cannot wait to try that. And God, do I love lemon cookies. Um, the Carmen Delights. And then there is the Adventurefuls. Indulgent brownie inspired cookies with caramel flavored crema, creme, and a hint of sea salt. Oh, I cannot wait. I cannot wait. Just the right thing to have with your coffee in the morning. Yes, yes. Those are the ones that are very rich and so, so good. So thank you again. And I wish I could share them with everybody, but I can't. Let's see. Lemon. When did they start doing lemon? My middle child would love that. I don't know. I don't know. I want to say I remember them, but maybe I don't. Maybe I just want to believe I remember them. But anyway, I'll let you know. I love lemon everything. I love lemon everything, and I love lime everything. So should be great. Speaking of great, Erin Jackson has officially made history as the first Black woman to win an individual gold medal at the Winter Olympics. Moral lesson: never let anyone tell you where you don't belong. History is waiting for you to rewrite it. Um, so, this is the first time an individual, not as a team, but as an individual, that a African American has won the gold medal. So first Black woman. So I would imagine that's for all sports during the Winter Games. Now there was someone who had won a gold medal back, I believe, in 2006, and the person who posted that was, you know, wanted to correct us to let us know that, oh, she's not the first Black woman to win an individual medal. But the thing is, it was not a woman, it was a guy. And it's kind of funny because she kind of has a boy name and the guy has a girl name. So if that doesn't add to the confusion, but it does. And I could see why someone assumed that the speed skater, let me see, the African American that won the speed skating gold medal in 2006? Yeah, Shani Davis. Shane Davis. Shani Davis. Um, it seems like their names should be reversed. It seems like Shani should be Aaron, and and Aaron should be Shani. So yeah, someone saw Shani Davis photo, and with that, that tight like cap that they wear on their head was, I think it's a hood to block the wind. Um, in the photos, you really couldn't tell whether it was a guy or a girl, and they're just like, "Oh no, there was someone else." No, it wasn't. But yeah, so congratulations to Aaron Jackson. And gosh, I know Erin has made her family proud. Oh, I got to share this with you. I've got to share this with you. This makes me feel very warm inside. Let's see here. Ba 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 ba. There you go. That was a little bit of the Olympics music. Ba, da, ba, da, da. Anyway, Erin Jackson is the first Black woman to win Olympic medal in speed skating. Oh, so they're both speed skaters. I could not tell. Yeah, I guess I did know that. Anyway, yeah, speed skating. And see what I mean? When they're wearing all that gear, you can't tell whether it's a guy or a girl. How cool is that? How cool is that? Oh, she's from Akola, Florida. Nice. One of the reasons why the Americans and the Russians and the Canadians often dominate the Winter Olympics is because, and the Japanese too, I would say, because it gets pretty cold in northern Japan. But prosperous countries where there is ice skating rinks and such year round, um, they tend to do better in the winter sports. Um, and of course, Russia, their economy is up and down, up and down, up and down, but it doesn't matter. They are going to invest the money for any Olympic game as a source of national pride. But yeah, so that's one of the things I heard. As a matter of fact, all of the prosperous countries tend to do it rather well. Um, China is like super rich now, so they're doing very well. And they have people that will invest in the training, and it makes a huge difference. Um, and the other thing that makes a difference is it the national sport. So basketball being as important as it is in the US, of course, now that they let professional basketball players compete in the summer games, then of course basketball is very competitive, but still, I think the U.S. dominates a great deal with basketball. So I have not looked at the Olympics. It doesn't even seem like the Olympics is on because I guess everybody was so pulled into the Super Bowl. And I have been seeing people, as young people say, crashing out over the Super Bowl halftime show. And from what I hear, it was not terribly political at all. And they say that the ratings were up for the Super Bowl, and that Bad Bunny probably won a whole bunch of new fans. And I'm going to tell you, Bad Bunny definitely was the winner. the NFL, I'm sorry, yeah, the NFL, they're definitely the winners. And the losers, the big losers, are the bar owners. There are some people that would go to a bar to watch the game, and they decided to put on Turning Points midtime show, and that was very, very dumb because I'm sure some people just watch the halftime show so that they could have something to complain about. And if you're not able to watch it, how can you get on social media and complain about it? Although there are some people who have not seen it and they will complain anyway, because that seems to be a national pastime, is that we have to complain about everything sight unseen. But yeah, but I heard it went very well. I haven't watched the entire thing. I watched like an explanation reel where they explained everything. And if you are stuck and you're trying to figure out what was going on, then there are some people that will explain it to you. But try to watch one with a positive spin. Don't get pulled into the negativity. One of the big dumb arguments that I've heard was, oh, it was in Spanish. I didn't know what they were saying. So what? Listen, um, my dear lamented aunt who passed away, it'll be 2 years this fall. She watched the opening ceremony for the Summer Olympics in Paris. And of course, French is not her first, second, or third language. The only other language she knows is Latin from Catholic school, and or the only other language she knew. And she absolutely loved it. Even with the overcast weather, even with the rock and roll, which I'm sure she totally was not really into it, but the spectacle of it was amazing and she loved it. And I'm saying this to say, stop complaining about stuff because everybody else is complaining. Please don't do that. Be your own person. Um, if you hear 1,000 people say something is ugly, make up your own mind. Don't get pulled into it. That is one of the things that is so bad with society right now, is that we're all so pessimistic and sarcastic and angry, and we have to critique every little thing. We really don't. We really don't. Some things you can just let it go by. So believe me, you do that and you'll be a much happier person. You will be so chill and you will have what they call grace. You know what I'm saying? You will have what they call grace. You don't have to hate everything just because that's what's popular right now. But I think that is why the halftime show has been getting so many negative tags. Is I listen to opera. I don't know what they're saying. I have some favorite Spanish artists. I don't know what they're saying, but I know the music I love. And that's it. You don't have to know every single word. Okay. Yeah, as they would say on American Bandstand, well, it has a great beat and it's easy to dance to. That was like almost every show when they would rate the songs. They say, duh, it had a great beat and it was easy to dance to." Oh, they said that the Kid Rock thing. They said it wasn't like very traditional country music, and that a lot of people who watched probably, hoping to hear some of their favorite songs, probably did not really recognize the songs that he sang. And I don't know that I've ever seen anything Kid Rock before, so I'm going to reserve my judgment. I'll just have to take everybody else's words for it. But the halftime show is like an event, and is it's almost like watching the ball drop on New Year's Eve or whatever New Year's celebration. It doesn't like it's cool if you can be there. It's historic and it's cool if you can be there instead of years from now hearing what a great job that Michael Jackson or Prince or whoever performed at the Super Bowl. I'm embarrassed to say I don't think I've watched any of them live, but by the time I did watch it, I pretty much loved what I saw. Now, there is a great documentary, and I don't know the name of it, but it went through the history of the halftime shows and it explained the halftime shows. And I wish I knew the name of that documentary. The guy who made it did a fantastic job. I'm going to take a look right now and see if I can find that one. Um, if I can find it, I will give you the link. And I think this is it right here. It's had 118,000 views. Um, it's like 25 minutes long. I do think this is it. I really do think this is it. Is it? Um, it's about a year ago. I do think this is it. Tell you what, I'm going to give you the link for it anyway. Um, if it's the one that I watched, it was amazing. It was so many things I did not know about the halftime show. And I watched this and I felt like I was like I kind of got caught up on some pop culture that everyone else has experienced and I was left out. Um, and if I'm correct, he rates the number one all time best halftime show. Well, anyway, it says the evolution of the Super Bowl halftime show. And this is from a year ago. So at this point, they didn't know Bad Bunny would even be there. So check it out in your leisure time. And if it's the one that I've seen before, you'll love it as much as I did. Oh, nope. You know what? I don't think that's it. I don't think that's it. Hold on. Let me check this one out. Huh. Well, oh, hell, I don't know. Well, I'll let you guys sort it out on your own. You know what? I got so many screens open. I can see that this thing is really slowing down. So I had better abandon all of this other stuff before we get locked out again. Okay? I'm going to leave that alone because I can feel myself getting locked out. Let's see. Baron Bad Bunny beat out Kendrick Lamar. Turn your TV off. Oh, okay. Oh, did I watch? No, I didn't watch that one live. I think I watched it after the fact. You know that song, "Not Like Us." That beat lived in my head rent free for months. Bum 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 Bum, 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 bum. I'm telling you, that song lived in my head rent free for the longest time. Yep. I could not rid myself of it. I didn't want to. I wasn't strong enough. I wanted it constantly. Uh, okay, confession time. What was taking me so long? Sometimes I get carried away, right? For whatever reason, I'll start doing something creative and I cannot stop. Well, um, I was working on this for about 45 minutes. I wanted it to be just right. And I think I got it. A lot of cutting and pasting and, you know, adding shadow and all of that. But I think it came out pretty cool. Um, but yeah, I was working on this. I could not help myself. I was ready, and then I started working on this, and then I wasn't ready. And anyway, that's what pulled me in at the last minute. I like to do a lot of hands-on stuff, and when I start something, it's like I get fixated on it, and I cannot leave it alone until it's just perfect. And even now, I'm looking at this, I'm like, oh, I can go back and fix that. But I love to edit photos and such. So that's what I did. I found like a picture of Megan that seemed like it was an illustration. Well, not an illustration, but I guess they made it look like a painting. And I was like, oh, what if I put Megan in the art gallery? So I put Megan in the art gallery. I'll show you the image. But yeah, I could not help myself. There you go. I don't know who made this or where it came from. I just kind of snatched it off of someone's Twitter. Thank you, Sandra. I really do like interesting things. I really do. So yeah, I could not help myself. I was just pulled into it. And then after, I put the portrait up, then I had to put the lady back in there, and make her look credible. And anyway, that was the result right there. Also, I'll show you something else that is kind of interesting. The photo is actually not as wide as it appear, right? Okay. I'm so proud of my work. I hope you don't mind if I show you what I did here. I want to show you the original. Right. Do I have the original? I'm sure I do. Okay. Oh, wait. Do I? No, I don't. Well, anyway, I don't have it handy, so I won't go fishing for it. But anyway, I actually widened the. Oh yeah, you know what? I can show you with this one. See there? I actually widened it. I added some more room. Um, I mean, you can compare that one with this one. See what I did there? I wanted it to fill up the space, so I added some more to it. But yeah, and that's what took so much time is I was obsessed with this image. Okay. Oh, I enjoyed putting a comment on proof. What is that, Professor's story? Oh, nice. That was very thoughtful of you. Yeah, I saw Professor was talking about that moment. Sometimes I feel like Professor doesn't do enough like probing into certain topics. It seems like everything comes direct from the Daily Mail or the Sun. And considering he is a professor, I'm always hoping he'll go just a little bit deeper. But if it's something he doesn't have prior knowledge about, then it doesn't seem like he does enough research. And that always frustrates me. And I still think that he is practically in love with Harry and he tolerates Meghan. The professor, he tolerates Meghan, but he loves Harry. And I will not have anyone tolerate the Duchess of Sussex. I just won't allow it. You don't tolerate Meghan. Um, Claudette McKenzie, thank you so much for joining us. Oh, thank you, Heather Stroud. I really do try. I really, really do try. And of course, Petal from Facts and Two Cents is one of the reasons why I'm almost exhaust myself with research, because when I saw how hard Petal was working, I'm just like, oh, I want to make sure that I'm, you know, able to do that. So I did. I took a page out of Petal's book and I haven't looked back. And a little closer up image, I added the frame to it as well. I thought it needed a beautiful frame, so I gave it that very gilded gold leaf frame. Oh, check it out. Duchess Meghan is USA Today's style star. According to the USA Today, which, what year did that come out? USA Today, that newspaper came out in the 1980s, right? That was like our first legitimate national daily newspaper. It wasn't like the Washington Post or the Chicago Tribune, Los Angeles Times, or the New York Times. I mean, those are national papers, but they're also kind of local. But the USA Today, that was our first daily national paper that was carefully cultivated so that it would be a U.S. newspaper. It wouldn't just be limited to any big city or metropolitan area. So anyway, it says Duchess Meghan surprised red carpet watchers on February 7th, stopping by the 15% pledge gala in Los Angeles in a rare public outing. Walking the mint green carpet, Meghan wore a dusty rose bustier gown with black piping, pairing the look with statement earrings, and her hair was pulled into a sleek low bun, and the dress was finished with a dramatic black cape and strappy open toe heel. The gala, which this year honored Tina Knowles, mother of Beyonce and Solange, was founded in 2020 by Aurora James to push retailers to reserve at least 15% of their shelves for Black-owned businesses. So that was pretty cool that Meghan is the USA Today style star. So cheers to the Duchess of Sussex. All right. Let's see. I don't like the Professor Wilson. He's a monarchist and doesn't like Meghan. Yeah, that I don't think that he's crazy about her at all. I just think he tolerates Meghan, and occasionally he'll say some semblance of a kind word. But again, I will not have the Duchess of Sussex treated that way. Oh, what's that? And nobody seems to be watching them. I don't know if it's because it's only a select few countries taking part, but I think most people are not watching. Most patient watch Trevor Noah. Okay, I'm all into y'all conversation. I do apologize. I'm just being nosy. Okay. How dare he tolerate the Duchess? Do you guys like that room? That is one of those AI rooms, which means that it doesn't make a lot of sense. Tell me, how many people in New York City, and I'm sure that's Central Park, how many people in New York have a street level apartment? How many people have a street level apartment where they just happen to have these huge windows that face Central Park? I mean, not just face Central Park, it looks like it's in Central Park, but yeah, some of those AI rooms, they're beautiful, but they don't make a whole lot of sense. But anyway, I thought this would be a nice setting for Meghan with the beautiful gown. Um, Zora Bonali was penalized for the backflip now being celebrated at the Olympics. I don't know if you remember this story about this young lady who was one of the most acrobatic, I mean, fit, strong, and I'm just going to say tough. She was very tough. I mean, she could do these backflips. I don't know how she did it, but she was able to do these backflips on ice skates. And while it was a crowd favorite, the judges penalized her. So the double standard has resurfaced in cultural conversations following figure skater, um, I think his name is Elia Mal- Malalin, Malilin, recent backflip in the 2026 Winter Olympics. While Malinin, that is, was praised for his performance, many black skater fans raised concerns about the hypocrisy, noting that nearly 30 years earlier, Surah Banali was penalized for performing the same move. And the reason why it bothers people is because, if I'm correct, I believe the judges actually took points away from her. I believe they took points away from her. She was trying to evolve the sport, evolve the competition, and they punished her because there were certain things that she could do that, and namely the backflip, she could do that and the other skaters could not. They didn't even want to try. And I don't blame them because it is dangerous. I mean, I want you to take a look at this and you can see exactly how dangerous that is. I have a phobia about head and neck injuries. I cannot stand to see anybody do anything that could result in a head or neck injury. It makes me cringe. And I'm always like, oh, be careful. And sometimes if I see something on a movie or the news or social media, I divert my eyes and try to turn away from it as fast as I can because I just don't like the idea of vertebrae being smashed or, you know, and head injuries. I hate that. So, um, of course, looking at these pictures kind of makes me feel a little queasy inside. But the good thing is that I don't think either one of them ever had a misstep that I know of. But still, these are kids to me. And as a concerned parent, it makes me a little nervous. Oh, did he lose points? Because I did not watch it. They considered it an illegal move, yet has he lost points? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I haven't watched it. Oh, let's see. Benali was a French figure skater that won for many years, and Aliyah, I don't know if I'm saying it right, lists points on his flips, even though everyone. Oh, you mean lost points, right? Lost points on his flips, even though everyone loves it. Yeah, I mean the judges get the final say, though, right? So I could imagine that if they and I do believe that they put the warning out, do not do anything like that. But I'm pretty sure both of them really just want to evolve the sport. They want it to be more competitive. So, you got to do what you have in you. Like sometimes when you're prepping to do a podcast, and then all of a sudden, even though you might lose some points with some of your viewers, listeners, you spend a month of Sundays editing a photo anyway. Voila. Voila. Yeah. Even though it's going to get on somebody's nerves, you still spend a bunch of time editing that photo because it's going to be a crowd favorite. Okay, I get where they're coming from. I'm picking up what they're putting down. Yes, yes. If you can jump higher, why not? Yeah, why not? As a very wise lady once said, a very wise lady once said, what's the sense in sharing this long and lonely life? Ending up just another lost and lonely wife. You count up all the years, and they will be filled with tears. Da, da, da. Uh, love only breaks up and starts over again. You can get the babies, but you won't have your man while he's busy loving every woman that he can. Da, da, da. You knew I was going to go into a song. Said I'm going to leave you 1,000 times a day. It's easier said than done. When you just can't break away, when you just can't break away. Ooh, young heart, run free. Never be hung up like my man and me. Ba-da-da. My man and me. Dun, dun, dun. Ooh, young heart, to yourself be true. Don't be no fool when love really don't love you. Dun, dun, dun. So, as I said, a very wise woman once said, young heart, run free. Never be hung up like my man and me. Young heart, to yourself be true. Don't be no fool when love really don't love you. Now, I don't know who wrote those lyrics, but I'm picking up what they're putting down. It's high time now, just one crack at life. Who wants to live it in trouble and strife? I always love that song. That is Young Hard Run Free by Candy Staten. 1976. Oh my goodness. If you were around when that song came out, guess what? You're old. I mean, just old, 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 old if you remember that song coming out. Oh man. That was a good song though. Young heart, to yourself be true. Don't be no fool when love really don't love you. Dun dun dun. It don't love you. Dun dun dun. It's high time now. Just one crack at life. All right. So, young hearts run free and don't let anybody say they're going to take your backflip away from thee. Young heart, to yourself be true, even though they're going to take some points from you. You know, I could work that into the song actually. Young heart, don't bust your head. Just do the skating like the judges said. Dun dun dun. The judges said. Dun dun dun. Woo! I was 19 years old. My goodness. Okay. Well, that was a long, 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 long time ago. That was a long time ago. God bless you. uh, okay, let's get on to Willie. Prince William Earthshot Charity under scrutiny after donor Sultan Ahmed bin what is it? Sulayam linked to Epstein documents. Willie is not having a good time over there right now. As a matter of fact, he's done. He ought to be back home by now or en route. What was supposed to be his moment to shine like a global statesman resulted in what appears to be him fighting desperately not to lose his cool. Yeah, he looks very pensive and uncomfortable. Also, how sad for him that the government asked him to go on this trip. I don't know that this is what he wanted to do, but he did take to it like a fish to water, whether or not his heart was into it. But very quickly, I think he realized that it wasn't going to work out for him. And why not? Well, the Duchess of Sussex has been riding a tidal wave, a crest of glory, um, because of her visit to the gala Saturday night. I mean, for days, people were talking about it. And that just stripped him of all the momentum that I'm sure he was fighting hard to build up. Huh? It just stripped him of all of his momentum. He had nothing left. He had nothing, nothing, nothing. Don't make me close one more door. I don't want to hurt anymore. Stay in Dubai if you can. Don't just stand there and wring your hands. Just stay away from me. You have nothing, nothing, nothing but dusty shoes. I'm feeling very musical tonight. What a menacing face he has. So, Prince William under pressure as Charity Commission to review Earthshot funding complaints. Really? Why is that, pray tell? Earthshot Prize under review over Epstein linked donors? Prince William completes Saudi visit amid Epstein controversy? My. Sarah Ferguson plans to return to UK amid Epstein scrutiny and money worries. Was she over in Dubai? Is that what I heard? Oh, well, whatever the case is, I'm glad that the ancestors are having their way with them. Keep it coming. That's all I can say is keep it coming. Oh, she carried the flag. Nice. Wow, this is a special Olympics for her. And of course, being the first African American or African woman of whatever nationality to win a single or solo gold medal, that makes everything special all by itself. I'm happy for her. So, the other story is this. The source for the story must be very close to home, knowing the details of how much everyone contributed and how not a penny has been paid back. The Queen Elizabeth, £7 million. Prince Philip's estate, £3 million. Then, of course, at the time, Prince Charles, £1.5 million. And other royals pitched in another £500,000. This is quite interesting. I would like to know who the other royals are that bailed Andrew, the sick old man. I'd like to know who else bailed him out. Who else supplied money to help him? Okay. This has a lot of moving parts. You do know that. This is a lot of moving parts. Are we to believe that they passed a hat? They passed a hat, or in their case, they passed the crown, and everybody threw money into the offering plate, right? Everybody threw a little money into the bucket to help him. Why would they do that? Why? The only people that should have come up with some money would have been Queen Elizabeth and Prince Charles. I wouldn't suspect that Willie would have a lot of money at that point because essentially he was the ward of his father. And as such, he wouldn't have that kind of money at his disposal, not until he inherited the Duchy of Cornwall. So I guess that would be the only reason why you don't see his name there. Is he one of the others? possible. I mean, it's not as much money as the big donors. But is any of this true in the first place? Is any of this true? If it is true, then it really pulls Charles in. Philip's gone, right? The Queen is gone, Queen Elizabeth. And then there's the anonymous 500,000 pounds from those other donors. So, with this information leaking, who is hurt by this? Charles III. It doesn't affect those other people unless by any chance we find out if there's anyone else that donated money. This seems like someone who has had a bad week is trying to hurt King Charles III, right? Maybe someone who went on a foreign tour at the request of the British government, and now they are just super embarrassed at this point. It seems like their whole trip is a failure. And so, to take some of the heat away from that, maybe someone had some inside knowledge that they shared with the Sun. I don't know who would do that, but somebody had some inside knowledge and told the Sun, guess what? It wasn't just my grandma. Well, I can't say that, then you'll know who I'm suspecting is the one. But the nation's grandma. Yeah, someone may have said the nation's grandma wasn't the only one that coughed up some money. The current nation's grandfather coughed up, 1.5 million pounds. Still, that is not the highest amount that is of money, but it does take heat off of Andrew. And so people will still be very critical of King Charles III for helping in the first place. So I don't know what to make of that. I don't know what to make of it. Why now? Why now? I mean, is this something that came out because of those documents? Huh. Interesting. I mean, we don't even know that it was 12 million pounds. That was what people reported, but it could have very well have been more or less. Right? We will never have an official accounting of it. At least I don't think so, unless the royals confess. And why would they do that if they don't have to? Let's see. I saw they were selling stuff. Also, someone said Diana's Rolex, but she had a Cartier tank watch. So some brand is getting yeah, I don't believe that Diana had a Rolex. I only know her to have had that tank watch. And I believe her tank watch was gold. And Meghan, when she first started making serious money, she had purchased her own tank watch, identical except for the type of material. And I believe her tank watch was maybe the stainless steel or white gold or whatever. So, Princess Diana's tank watch was inherited through Prince Harry and gifted to the Duchess of Sussex. Well, they say the estate of Philip. Now, how would you go about getting 3 million pounds out of his estate? I don't know. And of course, Prince Philip's will be unavailable for 99 years or whatever that term of holding is, in order to protect the Queen's dignity. They decided that we can't know what's inside of the last will and testament Just like we'll never know why Prince Philip had 30 million pounds. Exactly what did Prince Philip do to gain 30 million pounds? That's what they said his estate was worth. Yep, that is what they said the estate was worth. So I don't know. I really don't know. Hmm. What could Philip had done for 30 million pounds? Hmm. Yeah, I don't want to spend too much time thinking about it, but it does sound a bit strange. Really. You know what? I do have a theory. I do have a theory. Let me know what you think of this. Uh, do you think all of those stick shift lessons added up to 30 million pounds? I mean, after all, it seems as though Philip was trying to teach Penny Natchbull how to drive a stick. Huh? What you all think? Do you think that Philip had a side hustle where he would teach people how to drive a stick, how to use the clutch and everything? Of course, nowadays some cars have those paddle shifters, so it's like right there on the steering column. But back in Philip's time, you had to reach down and okay, I think I've said enough. Um yeah. Huh? Reach out and touch somebody's clutch and make sure that you use um and don't use it too much. Reach out and touch somebody's clutch and make sure you don't. Oh, never mind. Let me get out the gutter. Um, oh Lord, you guys, this is a family hour if there has ever been. So we'll just leave that alone. We'll let them sort that out on their own terms. Mm, mm. Uh, okay. So, Labor Party and the royal family seems more interested in saving their own bacon than doing right by Epstein's victims, and that came down from the mountaintop, Mount Saint Sarah Vine. Yeah, Mount Saint Sarah Vine. That's that mountain range that doesn't have what would be compared to a neck. That mountain range. It's just all a bunch of little stubby hills. There's no elongated features to Mount Saint Sarah Vine. Yeah. No horizontal lines are exaggerated. Everything is very squat and stubble and stumpy. Why sending Prince William to Saudi Arabia is a mind boggling mistake for the royals. Yeah, this was a terrible mistake, as Betty Davis would say, and it was terrible. But I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Willie, who fancies himself as a global, um, wait, global, oh, global, global, not leader, global. I said it earlier. A global pandemic? No, he's not a pandemic. A global statesman. Global statesman. He fancies himself a global statesman, he does. And yet, the first time that he's had a chance in a long time to represent the British government, and he really screwed it up. He really did. It was like a disaster in the making. And the images were very unrelatable. I don't know how that is supposed to help people back home where he comes from. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Prince William is visiting Saudi Arabia while heat intensifies at home on his uncle Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor. But in meeting the country's crown prince, has he run headfirst, that is, into another Epstein scandal? Boy, I tell you, Epstein is generating more scandals as a dead person than he did when he was alive. So Prince William is visiting Saudi Arabia, where he met with Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, who is named in the Epstein file and who Jeffrey Epstein claims he was close with. He said he was close to this guy. The news agents say if the idea of the visit was to distance himself from claims against his uncle, then the royal family has made a mind boggling error. The scandal has followed the prince abroad as he as he was heckled while in public by a man demanding to know if he believes the royal family had done enough in dealing with Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor. And of course, he didn't answer. It probably seems like a good idea to Buckingham Palace. Get Prince William, heir to the throne, away from Epstein's scandal, which threatens to engulf the royal family while the heat is on. But if getting Prince William out of the Epstein media glare and into the spotlight with a trip overseas, a meeting with the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia might not have been the best option. Mohammed bin Salman was linked to the unaliving of journalist Jamal Khashoggi. Remember Jamal Khashoggi? He went into an embassy and never came back out. And while he denies involvement, it is widely believed and openly stated by leading political figures that the unaliving could not have happened without his knowledge. I repeat, it would not have happened without his knowledge. And let's be very clear who we're speaking about. It's the gentleman on the right side of the picture. That is the Saudi crown prince. And he is a very powerful figure. Very powerful. Perhaps even more uncomfortable for the fleeing Prince William, Mohammed bin Salman is also named numerous times in the Epstein file himself, with the with the convict claiming to have known him well, right? And of course, the convict is the one who, went into jail and came out room temperature. That one. I'm trying to avoid certain words. The royal family has tried to usher William away from the royal family Epstein scandal, and unwittingly, they pushed him toward another, says Emily Maitlis. I love her. Because actually, the Crown Prince Mohammed and Salman is all, I'm sorry, not in, it's been, not in Salman. Because actually, the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman is all over the Epstein files. This does not, I repeat, this does not, as we always say, imply criminal wrongdoing. But Epstein claimed he knew him very well. Anybody remember Schoolhouse Rock? Anybody old enough to remember Schoolhouse Rock? Did you have the privilege to watch that on Saturday morning? Because if you have, you know what I'm going to say. Out of the frying pan and into the fire. You tried cutting the sandbags, but the balloon wouldn't go higher. You can go up to the mountain or down to the sea. You should always say thank you or at least say please. Conjunction, junction, what's your function? Hooking up words and phrases and clauses. Yep. If you remember Schoolhouse Rock, there was always that part of the song where he reminded people that you can try to avoid complications and still find yourself in trouble. As they say, out of the frying pan. It's bad enough you burning the food in the frying pan and then you flip it directly into the fire. So, out of the frying pan and into the fire. And then the other part, the balloon is starting to sink. You're in a hot air balloon. And he says, you tried cutting the sandbags, but the balloon wouldn't go any higher. You can go up to the mountain or down to the sea. But anyway, that's enough of Schoolhouse Rock. But that's what happened to William. Out of the frying pan and into the proverbial fire. The only thing is, he's not in a hot air balloon. So cutting the sandbags is not going to keep his ship from sinking. Anyway, it says here, where did I leave off? How was Mohammed bin Salman connected to Epstein? Documents in the Epstein file revealed that the, I'll just say pervert, offered to become the crown prince's financial confidant. Okay, that I could believe that. We don't know if the role ever materialized, but the idea that William is running headfirst into Mohammed bin Salman, thinking he got away from the Andrews scandal and the Epstein scandal at home is absolutely mind-boggling, and nobody at the palace or in government seems to have ever recognized that yet. Despite traveling thousands of miles from media scrutiny in the UK, Prince William still faced personal Epstein pressure when he was heckled during a walkabout in Saudi Arabia. During the walkabout, a man asked if the royals had done enough regarding Andrew, linked to Epstein. The prince did not respond. What is Prince William's running from at home? While much pressure remains on the government, Keir Starmer and his dealings with close Epstein friend Peter Mandelson, there is a growing pressure on Andrew to reveal the extent of his involvement with the pervert. Charles said he will cooperate with any police investigation into his brother and only his brother. While the only statement from Prince William and Princess Catherine was a brief statement saying they are deeply concerned about new revelations and that their thoughts are with the Epstein victims. Now, let's pause right there. Let's pause right there. Absolutely, positively not the case. Someone at the palace or someone close to Will and Kate declared on their behalf. I don't even think this person was required to say that. But it reminds me of when Queen Elizabeth, remember the what do they call the guy in the uniform that always shows up with the royals? The equerry. Remember the is he the no the lieutenant colonel for London, Greater London, whatever. Anyway, the black guy that holds that role. He said that he doesn't believe that Queen Elizabeth is racist and that she and he had conversations about Black Lives Matter. So it was of his opinion that the result of a conversation about Black Lives Matter meant that Queen Elizabeth could not be racist. That's what they said. That's what they said. The thing is, if you go by that logic, then you could just say what anybody in the family implied or inferred because of a conversation. Queen Elizabeth did not seem to have a very long attention span for those types of subjects. She had horses and dogs to breed. She wasn't thinking about stuff like that. So that was Ken, whatever his name is, that was his opinion. That was not a statement from the Queen. That wasn't even a statement on the Queen's behalf. He decided, probably the courtiers, I'm guessing the courtiers must have took him to the side and said, well, here, you could say this. And he did. And all of that was to fine tune the perception of the public in regards to the subject of race and the royal family. That's all that was about. It was a chance to give Queen Elizabeth a free pass. And so the same principle applies here. Did they say it or did they not say it? We don't know. Someone close to them shared this information. They were testing the water. That someone was being a surrogate for the Waleses. Instead of them testing the waters, putting their toe in the waters, they had one of their courtiers do it. And that little phrase has traveled around the world and back. Now, the clever thing about that is, in about a week, even I might forget they didn't say anything. Even I may start to believe, oh, well, they did address it. No, they didn't. They certainly did not address it. And even if they did address it, it was not directly addressed. It was a passing word that probably did not come from them. Media literacy. If only there was media literacy. Remember, I was said in the beginning, everybody is so clever. We all have a critique. We all have the answer. We all want to rate and berate everything. We don't let anything form naturally. It is being crammed down our throats. Well, even with this very small gesture, they are trying to confuse us into believing that the Waleses care and that this was brought up because the Waleses are just deeply affected, that they are very concerned about the victims. And we know that's not true. That was just to give them an opportunity to say, well, they did address it. No, they didn't. And I guarantee you, 2 weeks from now, a month from now, there will still be people saying, well, after all, Will and Kate did address it. I think they got a little embarrassed because Uncle, was it Andrew? Uncle Edward was the first to address it, to say anything remotely supportive. And I do mean remote, certainly not directly. And that is how you bamboozle people. You make people believe stuff that certainly did not happen. Let me see. Talking about Black Lives Matter doesn't stop someone from being racist. It is the one on the receiving end that understands what racism is. I agree, Bonnie Mighty. It's the one on the receiving end. You cannot trust someone who's never experienced racism to explain whether or not another person has experienced racism. And in some cases, they're not even qualified to identify it themselves. Yep, I agree. I am 10 toes down with you. So, let me see. Was I through with that? So, Charles says he's on his own. He doesn't have the title, he doesn't have the royal residence. I'm not buying all that. Lewis Goodall says it is time for the focus to turn on Andrew and the royals. With the government, we're talking about the man who was connected to Epstein. But as far as we know, there is no suggestion of actually partaking in what happened, you know, what happened, what they were doing, that stuff they were doing. Okay. Well, that was a great article, and that was in the news agent, right? The news agent. Let's see. You're concerned about Kate and William's constant vacations. You know, since you said that, you know what I'm thinking? Kate and the children are probably going to meet William somewhere. William may not return directly to the UK. In all likelihood, while the cameras were over there, he will have them meet at a secluded vacation spot. Oh, I bet you that's going to happen. I would not be surprised at all if instead of going back to whatever life in their normal day-to-day life, I believe they are well overdue for a vacation. Because they have to take a vacation every 10 days or so. 10 on, 10 off. Well, no, I'm sorry. 10 days back in the UK and 5 days abroad. So 10, 5, 5, 10. That's how they roll. Okay. Let me do this. Oh, that's just a picture. That's not the video. I thought that was a video. Let me try that again. Look at that woman on the left side. Is that intense or what? Okay, here we go. How long have you known about it? Well, he was probably very emotional and strained to get that out as loud as he could. So, God bless him. Thank you for seeing me. I know we are reputationally awkward. Things were so bad for William this week that one of the illustrators, I believe this is what the Times or whatever paper, one of the illustrators actually made this little cartoon of William. This and there's Ben Salman. His hands are crimson droplets all over the floor. And of course, a work of art worthy of any art gallery, and that is a bone saw. Now, how do you use that? Remember, Khashoggi went inside of what was it the Saudi embassy, or was it the Saudi what do you call it? Where the ambassador well, let me see. The embassy. Oh, consulate. I'm thinking the consulate. The embassies are usually in the capital city or just adjacent to it, and then the consulate, they will have consulates in big cities, right? In any big metropolitan area around the U.S., most of the wealthier countries have a consulate where you can do a lot of the services or receive help just as you would from the embassy. And sometimes when a country is really small and poor, they will share the consulate with another country. Sometimes you have 3 or 4 consulates using the same let's say, apartment. Some consulates are just a kitchen table. I'm serious. Some consulates are literally just a flat in the high traffic area of town, if they're lucky. I remember the Greek consulate in Chicago was located um, pretty much on the campus of Northwestern Medical Center, one of the buildings, like right there across the street from the downtown Gold Coast Medical Center. Okay, well, awkward, a monumental understatement. And then, of course, every time William does something as a global, um, what would you call that? Global ambassador, no, global statesman. He wants to hitch his boat to Donald Trump, which can be very dangerous, because Donald Trump can be very capricious. You think he's your friend 1 minute, and next thing you know, he's speaking against you, especially if it benefits him. And so there's Willie wearing a red tie, trying to be a chip off the old tyrant. Okay, now let me see. What's another one? Oh, this one. I love this one. The little emperor has no clothes. That is Willie. That was when Trump went to Paris for the dedication or reopening dedication of Notre Dame. All those world leaders were there. Well, when Willie got wind that Trump was going to spend some time with the British ambassador, Willie raced over to the consulate. I'm sorry, to the yeah, the embassy. He raced over to the British embassy and waited for Donald Trump to arrive. And so that is why that looks the way it does, because they're begging the question, does he realize he is insignificant to most things that's going on? Meaning Willie, of course. That his presence really doesn't matter. If something comes up, it's going to go through Charles III and the prime minister. It's not going to go through Willie. Willie is in training. He has no role. Don't you love them? I love them. They all seem to strike the right note. Well, well, well. It's the Prince of Pagan. I'll never be a Prince of Pagan. Something, something, I'm begging. Never, never, never gonna be the Prince of Pagan. Well, I can see you're the Prince of Pagan. Okay. Oh, Faith Manzini, welcome. Thank you for joining us. You mean the University of Illinois, near Greektown, right? No, actually, it was near that corner bakery. You know what? Unless I'm thinking of it, but I don't think it was in Greektown unless they just moved. because I know what Greektown is, but I do believe their consulate was over. Let me see. I'll look it up. Look it up just to satisfy our curiosity. The Greek consulate in Chicago. Yes, is 650 North St. Clair Street. And that is one of those streets that go right through the campus of the Northwestern University Medical Center. Did I say Northwestern? Because that's what I meant. Northwestern University Medical Center. Oh, I may have said something else. But yeah, so that is where it's located. It's like a little townhouse. It's an old building surrounded by some big skyscrapers. And I only recognize it because I used to see the flag when I would go through that area. I used to eat at the corner bakery that was right there. Love corner bakery. Yep. You know, William has a bit of a pointy head, so that little crown there would fit him perfectly. Prince William charity reported to Watchdog over Epstein file. Really? Oh, Feminegra to the rescue. What say you, Feminegra? So, Prince William's Earthshot charity reported to UK watchdogs after Epstein linked donor revealed. Prince William main environmental charity, the Earthshot Prize, is under fresh scrutiny after being officially reported to the UK Charity Commission following new Jeffrey Epstein document releases. The complaint focuses on a donation tied to the Emirati billionaire named in the file and has sparked concern about how donors are checked and why similar controversies keep appearing around charities linked to the Prince of Wales. You guys, William needs a crisis manager. You guys, this is serious. Critics say this is not a one-time mistake. They point out to past charity partnerships and paid access fundraising incidents as signs of a repeating pattern, not an isolated slip. Earthshot donations triggers watchdog complaint. The current controversy stems from reporting that Earthshot received at least £1 million from DP World, a founding partner of the initiative chaired by Emirati businessman Sultan Ahmed bin Sulayem. I think this is a different guy. Newly disclosed Epstein emails place Suleiman in correspondence with the, I'm going to have to say pervert, with the pervert, you know who. Yeah, that works. Prompting anti-monarchy campaign group Republic to file a formal complaint with the Charity Commission. So when Republic, remember Graham Smith, when Republic got a whiff of this, they filed a complaint against Willie's Earthshot. They saw something that seemed inconsistent, and they used the what do you call it? They used this event as a way of getting a paper trail or whatever with the Earthshot. All of the people that looked at those documents, and it was Republic that ratted them out. Good for them. Remind me to make a generous contribution, would you? So, Earthshot donations trigger watchdog complaint. The current controversy stems from a reporting that Earthshot received at least. Oh, I did that already. I brought this up for you. See there? Um, I am in China and will be in the U.S. second week of May. Sent from BlackBerry wireless device. Oh, this was from 2009. Where are you? Are you okay? I love the torture video. I love the torture video. Oh my goodness. Ooh, that's serious. That is serious. What, pray tell, is William doing? Why am I whispering? What, pray tell, is William doing associating himself with these kind of people? That's so funny. I was sitting here. What was William doing? Why am I whispering? Anyway, recently surfaced correspondence also show that after William met with Sulayem during a visit to DP World London Gateway on March the 14th, 2016, Sulayem emailed Jeffrey the following day stating that he had attended a function at Buckingham Palace. He attended a function at Buckingham Palace with the prince. Epstein replied on March 16th with a brief message reading, "Fun." The exchange has drawn attention because it places Buckingham Palace event in direct proximity to previous undisclosed communications between Suleiman and the pervert. Whew. I'm trying to be careful, you guys. I'm trying so hard to be careful. I don't want any trouble. Last thing I need is more trouble. So you can see this correspondence right here. It says, yesterday I received Prince at our London gate. Is it Gateway? Yeah, Gateway. Yeah, London Gateway Port. I showed him around the facility, and today I attended a function with him at Buckingham Palace. Okay. All right. Well, that is what it is. Oh, Willie in trouble, y'all. Willie is in trouble. Oh, okay. And then there's that. What does that say? Now, this is from the pervert. It says, by the way, the Ukrainian and the Moldavian arrived. Big disappointment. The Moldavian is not as attractive as the picture, while the Ukrainian is very beautiful. Oh, gosh, you know what that's about. Well, let me put it to you like this. Yeah, anyway, I don't know, but we know what that was about. They were not talking about, well, they were talking about what they were talking about. I'm trying to be careful. I'm trying to be careful and, of course, respectful. Okay. All right, let me get away from there. Now, it says here, Republic Chief Executive Graham Smith said the seriousness of the revelation demands a full investigation into the background checks officials carried out and whether advisors warned about reputational risk, the Charity Commission has since confirmed it is assessing the information to determine the next step. Okay, let me just repeated access and vetting question. Okay, I'm going to skip that. Okay. Lex says William didn't need a crisis manager for Harry and Meghan at all. Thank you very much for that. And he certainly did not. What he needed was to just leave them alone. He would have been okay if he'd have just left them alone. Thank you so much for the super chat. Okay. And this is Prince William when he got heckled. Remember I played that yesterday when he got heckled? That was his reaction. He just had to wipe the sweat from his brow. Oh, he was fit to be tied. He was fit to be tied. Poor Willie. He can't help it. He was born with a silver foot in his mouth. Okay. Oh, okay. This was back in 2022. Now that is Sulayim, not the Salman, but Sulayim. Salman was the other guy, the one where he was sitting with the bone saw. Now, Feminegra also wanted us to have a little reminder about this spot of bother. Wait, let me see. Okay. Just to make sure I got the right one. Okay. The sharpest comparison many commentators draw are not between Prince William and Prince Andrew, but between Prince William and Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. Critics often return to the 2018 Fiji state dinner, where Meghan wore diamond drop earrings that the Times later reported were a wedding gift from the Saudi crown prince Mohammed bin Salman. The dinner took place only weeks after the disappearance of Khashoggi. The Sussex's team pushed back, calling coverage a calculated smear campaign. The subsequent clarification indicated the earrings were part of a royal collection rather than Meghan's personal property. In practice, she had borrowed them the same way other royal women routinely borrowed jewelry. So if you recall, when they went to Fiji, Meghan wore those drop earrings. Did she just ask for them or were they selected for her? Who knows? But we do know they're from the royal collection. And then, without warning, with the maximum amount of impact, while Harry and Meghan are riding this wave of success from the Oceania tour, the Oceania tour, they start running articles saying that Meghan was wearing these blood-soaked diamonds, and these diamonds were discovered and mined in a way that, was very bloody and all that kind of stuff. But the thing is, the provenance of those earrings is something that they would have had to tell her about. She didn't know one way or the other. As a royal bride, you borrow from the official royal collection of jewelry. Not uncommon, very typical, especially a high profile senior royal as Meghan is. And so, in order to make life as difficult for Meghan as possible, they began beating this drum about the origins of those diamonds. Yep, it was the okey doke. It was one of the, you know what I compare that to? That whole thing with Harry wearing the Queen's cipher. When Harry wore the uniform to stand guard at the Queen's coffin, the untrained eye would have never noticed that Harry was not wearing the official cipher that is given to, you know, anyone wearing that uniform for that occasion. And of course, we wouldn't have known the difference watching on television. Someone leaked that information to try and hurt Harry as bad as anyone could, as though his appearance at his grandmother's um, lying in state meant nothing without those ciphers or initials or whatever. Okay. Oh, look at that. Let me see. Where are those earrings now? Oh, right. British royal family has them. Yeah. Meghan doesn't have them. The royal family has them. They were not property of Meghan. They were not for her to keep. They belong to the royal collection. Hazel Jones says those earrings were presented to Queen Elizabeth II and William during Mohammed bin Salman's visit to the UK. They are the property of the royal collection per rules enacted in 2005. Oh, by the way, thank you so much, Legs. There we go. That's so evil, though. That is so evil. Um, that is someone with experience within the institution that knows exactly when, where, and how to level criticism to cause embarrassment. While Meghan was pregnant, no less. While Meghan was pregnant, this whole terror attack about those effing earrings took place. What other time in a woman's life would you feel more vulnerable than pregnancy? And they decided to cast a long shadow over everything with article after article and the headline Blood Soaked Diamonds, which is a filthy thing to say. Filthy, disrespectful. So when people say, I don't support Harry and Meghan for trashing their family, they are trash. They are a trashy family. Any family that would sit back and allow their own flesh and blood, I don't care what the consequences, you would allow your own flesh and blood to be terrorized like that. Yep, that was awful. It was so cruel, so cruel. If there was any doubt about how evil that institution is, that's a great example. Both the earrings and the cipher. With all of the gold braiding and everything that was on that uniform, how would anybody viewing across the room, let alone thousands of miles away, how would anybody even know it was missing? The answer is you couldn't. You could not know. William decided that since Harry didn't have his, that he wasn't going to, it was something he did not wear out of consideration for Harry. So they say. So they say. But who knows? That may have been part of the setup. What a rotten family. That's been just pissed me off all over again. Seriously, that has really pissed me off. Oh, so there's William with Ben, whatever his name is. Um, and there's Epstein with the same guy. And there he is, having donated £1 million, speaking at the Earthshot Prize podium. I don't even want to know what DP means, but there he is at the Earthshot Prize podium. Go figure. Here's Prince William, the deeply concerned one, pictured with the £1 million Earthshot funding partner whose name appears in unsealed Epstein court filings, alleged torture video, and another email Moldavian Ukrainian girls sent to him by Epstein. Same man also photographed with Epstein during their time of leisure. There's more photos of William with Epstein's associates than him with Epstein's victims. um, one of him and his wife are the ones that he and his wife are focusing on. The crisis manager is going to need something stronger for this. Mm. Well, well, well. Interesting. And look at Sarah Ferguson. They found the most exhausted, haggard image they could find of her in the presence of Will and Kate. And of course, I believe the photo on the right is from, I think that's 2019, maybe, or 20. Anyway, all smiles and giggles as usual. Lots of smiles with Uncle Andy. Sometimes they have to fight the urge to smile, like when they were outside of that church for that Royal Catholic funeral. They wanted to smile, I could tell. but they were instructed to avoid it. So they didn't. Oh, Robert, where's my CPAP Jobson? He had a thing to say about it. Let me fire that up for you. Robert, where is my CPAP Jobson? Huh, okay.
It's a fairly successful tour, a lot of soft power being used there.
Yeah, fairly successful. It's a bit like the band playing as the Titanic goes down. The reality is there's such a huge story going on at the moment that all seems a little bit sort of irrelevant, in my opinion. Yes, it's boosting Prince William's position as a statesman going forward. But you know, we're talking about rights of women in Saudi Arabia. What about the rights of the victims in the Epstein scandal, and why is that not being addressed straight and publicly by the royal family rather than issuing statements from press officers? I think it's very difficult to have a diplomatic mission without getting this situation resolved to the satisfaction of the people, because people are not really satisfied with somebody losing their title or their big house. They want accountability, and I think this is such a huge story. It just seems, you know, rather difficult for William to carry on his role while this is going on.
I mean, Robert, he did dodge it. He was asked by journalists out there, he was asked questions about Uncle Andrew, but he didn't say anything. He did dodge them. As you said, the only thing he and Catherine have done is issue that statement that they're thinking about the victims of the Epstein scandal.
Yeah, and it came from the press officer on the eve of his arrival, which, of course, you know, and it repeated essentially what the King had said prior to his statement, which was taking things a little bit further. It came from a press officer saying that, you know, our concern is with the victims. Yeah, that may well be the case. But what is happening with Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor? He is on a royal estate. He's living there, being paid, we presume, by the King, and there's no accountability. The problem here is it's also institutional, because this has been going on, Dawn, for many, many years, as you know, and I've been on your show talking about it before with Eamon. The reality is, you know, who knew what and when? And if the royal family paid £12 million to the tragic figure of Virginia Giuffre many years ago, plus all his legal expenses, you know, is that hush money? What is it for? We need to see the same level of transparency as we're going to hopefully see with the Mandelson inquiry. And if there is fault with the institution, that is a problem for the monarchy.
But is it a problem, Robert? Am I right? If I picked this up wrongly, is Sarah Ferguson out there as well?
Look, Sarah Ferguson is in Qatar, apparently. There's a report in the Daily Mail today saying that, and that she's planning a comeback. I think that's pie in the sky. You know, the fact is Sarah Ferguson, who took her two children, who were children at the time, to meet the convicted paedophile Epstein 2 or 3 days after he'd come out of prison, seems astonishing. But I had an exchange with Sarah. I know her fairly well quite recently, and she's, you know, this was probably in the last month or so, and she said they're out for blood. She was concerned about her mental health. She was concerned really about what was going on, and that the palace were out together. I think that the reality is that Sarah needs to probably lay low a little bit before planning any comeback. Because first of all, she obviously knew Epstein well. She had interaction with him, and maybe she could also give evidence to the inquiry and actually help some of the victims and help some of the families of the people that have been involved. I think that it's all well and good, the royal family just carrying on as if nothing's happened. But this is probably one of the biggest scandals they've faced. You know, I wasn't around at the abdication, and nor were you, Eamon and Dawn, but probably about on that scale, this is a huge, huge scandal.
And Robert, just quickly and finally, there could be a criminal investigation into Andrew, formerly known as Prince, over misconduct in public office, exactly what information he was giving away. That could carry a life sentence. What do you make of that?
It's difficult to say. That's a very complex case, I think, proving that it was done with intent, proving that he gained from it, all sorts of things I think were involved. And I think also it's a distraction from a far bigger story which is the scandal involved in sex trafficking, underage women, and that scandal and the cover-up that's involved there. But look, it's a very serious story. But I'm sure that the royal family and the king, who's at no fault here, is doing his best to deal with it. But what a problem to deal with.
And it sounds like it's a fairly successful tour. A lot of soft.
Well, I don't know if they realize everything that I just shared about William's proximity to this other guy, but seems like they missed that part of it. But whatever. I'm glad that this is happening for them, and I'm here for it. Let's see. Look at Eamon and that woman trying to give William his balloons. Also, look at them trying to misdirect to. Yes, I noticed that they had to throw Sarah under the bus, didn't they? They quickly leap over to Sarah. Oh, TB Candles, thank you very much. Oh, and by the way, we are just about done. I got one little thing to share with you guys, and then we are done for tonight. Take a look here. Oh, wait. Do you guys recognize that art, that image there, rendered with Lego blocks? Does anybody recognize that? What did you see in the picture? Oh, I hope I didn't just give it away. Oh, Leg says the girl with the pearl earring. Yeah, you know what? And the further away from it you are, the easier it is to see it, which is amazing. But yes, that is the girl with the pearl earrings. But it's very important that you make sure you get the right pearl. It's not this pearl. Okay? It ain't Pearl Bailey, and it ain't Pearl from 227. Yeah, that pearl, that pearl is a little feisty. Yeah, that's a very feisty pearl. So, it's I'll show you. That's the girl with the pearl earring. Not the wise cracking, coffee drinking, nosy neighbor pearl, but this little ingenue. You know what? They never did figure out what her identity was. And of course, I could not help myself. I kept looking at that picture. I said, you know what? She needs some Beats by Dr. Dre. And that just goes to show you how long ago I did this, because Beats ain't look like that in about, at least 12 years, if not longer. Those are the original Beats when they first came out. Those were some nice headphones. They sounded really nice, but the quality just wasn't there in the early days. I had purchased those, and gosh, I think with the insurance, I think I paid almost $300. But they went out on me twice. 2 times they just stopped working. And so the second time I said, can I try something different? They said, sure, what do you want? You just have to pay the difference. Some Bose. And I purchased some Bose, and they still work. And that was well over, I'm going to say at least 12 to 14 years ago. And those Bose headphones still work. Now, they're not rechargeable, but there's an adapter that you can buy for about $30 and plug it in, and it is form-fitting to the curve of the of the old Bose headphones. So now you can use it as a wireless headset. Yep. Now you can use the other ones as a wireless headset, the old ones. But they still work. I have been in the rain and snow with those other headphones and they still work. But my Beats, they went out on me twice. So disappointed. So anyway, that's the girl with the pearl earring. Thank you all very much. We are done. Valentine's Day is coming up. So don't forget, if you have to buy flowers or chocolate or something like that, you better go in and get that chocolate fast because it's going to go very fast. Speaking of which, I did receive my as ever. I did receive my as ever chocolates. So now I got all of them. Yes, good night, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. It has been a pleasure per usual. Oh, did I almost forget about this? This is the crown that was destroyed when they when they robbed the Louvre. Remember when they robbed the Louvre and this crown got away from them? Well, they have vowed to fix it. They have promised they are going to fix it and they're going to put it back on display. It used to look like this. Now it looks like this. This or that. This is how it was on display. And this is how it was picked up from the street. It dropped or fell or whatever. And the crooks could not retrieve it, so they left it. If not for the fact that they dropped it, it would have been chopped up, melted down, and sold. Yeah, part of the national identity has been damaged. It's part of the national treasure. Something like that should not have happened, but yet it did. Uh-oh, you know what? We better not let the Orange Menace see that. It's got eagles on it. And all that gold embellishment. Better not let him see that. Yeah. Anyway, now I'm done. I forgot about that. I've been meaning to show that for like 2 days. Anyway, I came on a little bit earlier today. I did my best, but I got a little carried away working on that picture. Oh, and this, of course, was the nice gift I received from KO2. Yeah. A collection of Girl Scout cookies. Thank you again for that. God bless you too, soul brother. And this is the top of that gift box. You can see the green gift box there. And that is the top of it. And of course, I'm keeping that box. Got to keep that box. I think it's beautiful. Thank you, Shelly L. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Cheers, everyone. Good night. Oh, I almost forgot about that alleged sabotage of Cintabale. Almost forgot about that. But the ancestors did not forget about it, and that's what's important. Long as the ancestors recall the sabotage, that's important to me. Love the ancestors. Good night, Hazel Jones. Karen Murdoch, Sam, we are all just about to leave. But please try again another night. Thank you so much for stopping by, though.